Welcome to this video for EFT processing for Sage Intacct. My name's Anne from Orchid Systems, and in this video I'm going to run through how you can streamline Sage Intacct payment and receipt processing using electronic funds transfer. Why would you use EFT processing? EFT processing automates the creation of the EFT files for your bank, leading to increased efficiency, accuracy, and security. You can eliminate expensive paper checks. You can avoid the duplicate data entry for a quick return on investment. EFT processing integrates seamlessly with Sage Intacct accounts payable for the vendor payments, accounts receivable for your customer direct debits, and time and expenses for your employee reimbursements. A little bit about Orchid. We have over 7,000 Sage sites in over 80 countries, and we've been developing add-ons for Sage for a number of years now. We are supported by over 450 business partners around the world. We are based in Sydney, Australia, and have received over 10 industry awards for our modules. At this stage, we have 20 integrated Sage add-ons, the most recent one being Sage Intacct EFT Processing. EFT processing creates the EFT payment and direct debit files in the format required by your bank. It's integrated with the Sage Intacct payment and receipt processing routines. We have a common mapping engine and file formats that work across multiple products. This means from day one we support over 800 banks and formats from over 80 countries, and others can be created on request. We support all the types of domestic payments, cross-border payments, positive pay, wire payments, NACHA or the North American Clearinghouse, the CPA 005 standards for Canada, SEPA for Europe, ISO 2022, BPay in Australia, Payway, etc. We also support user-definable formats if you want to create your own formats. The EFT banking details for the vendors, customers, employees, and the banks are held by EFT processing within the Sage Intacct instance. We support user-definable screen labels and tooltips to reflect the bank's terminology and requirements to simplify the data entry. We have extensive audits of the EFT files created, as well as changes to banking details. And we use industry-leading WebAssembly technology, so the mapping of your banking information takes place within your own environment, not on a third-party site. Orchid's EFT is developed in Sage Intacct with the Sage Intacct development environment, providing a familiar Sage Intacct look and feel, plus the standard security and customization capabilities that you expect with a Sage Intacct screen. And all the data is stored within your Sage Intacct instance. And these are the menu options you have, which I'll be running through shortly. But first, a little overview on how our EFT works. So whether you're using EFT for vendor payments, accounts receivable, direct debits, or employee expenses, it works the same way. You enter and post and approve the AP payment, the AR payment, or the employee reimbursement. So you use the Sage Intacct processing to post the original payments. And then you use EFT processing to select those payments that you want to include in an EFT file, generate the EFT file, download the file, upload or import or SFTP to the bank, and once the bank is confirmed, you confirm the EFT file. But specifically with respect to accounts receivable and direct debits, first you would use the Sage Intacct AR payment processing routines to enter, post, or approve and post your accounts receivable payments and advances. And then you would use Orchid's EFT AR payment requests to select those payments that you want to send a direct debit instruction to the bank. So you can select payments that are made for customers who are configured for EFT and banks that are configured for EFT. You'd select the payments and then generate the EFT file. From there, you would download the EFT file, use the bank software to import or upload or SFTP the file across to the bank. And once the bank confirms that the file has been uploaded correctly, you come back to the EFT file list and confirm the EFT file. Should the bank say there's an issue with the file, incorrect format, or maybe a customer's account number is incorrect, or your own banking account number is incorrect, you can use the process on the EFT file list to hold the EFT file, then go and amend the relevant details for the bank record or the customer details, refresh the EFT file, and this will create you a new file with all the new details, which you can then download using the EFT file list and upload to the bank and confirm when accepted. So you would use the EFT AR payment request to select those posted payments or posted advances which are ready to be sent to the bank for direct debit. From here, you can hyperlink to the AR customer to check the EFT bank account details if required. You can also hyperlink to the posted payment details if you need to check anything on that. You can also filter by any of the columns, by currency, by bank, by amount, to filter the items that you are selecting. But once you have all your payments selected, you would click Generate. And EFT Processing would create you an EFT receipt file type for each bank and format that you had selected payments for. From here, you can view the file, download the file, and once you've downloaded the file, you can upload it to the bank, and if appropriate, if the bank says the file's loaded okay, then you would come back and confirm it. But should you need to make some changes to the file, to the format, to the EFT bank details of the customers or your own, you can use the process of hold to hold that file, amend the relevant data, and then refresh again. And this is the process I'm now going to demonstrate to you. EFT processing for accounts receivable or direct debits for your customers allows you to select posted payments for your customers. So once you have your posted payments, they've been entered and approved, these posted payments are able to be included in an EFT file for those customers who are configured for EFT and for the banks that are configured for EFT. To create the EFT file, you can go to the Orchid EFT menu, EFT AR Payment Requests. And this screen will show you all those customers which have been configured for EFT, and there are receipts that have been posted which have not yet been included in an EFT file. I can use this screen also to look at those which have been included in an EFT file, or all my payments in the date range that I've got filtered here. So if I say those included in an EFT file, and I increase my date range, I can see all those receipts that have been included in an EFT file, what the EFT file name was. Or if I look at all, I would see those included and those not included in an EFT file. But for us, we're going to go ahead and create an EFT file. So we set our filter to not included in any EFT file. And I could go ahead now and select all, and it would create me an EFT file per bank, per format combination. If I wanted to, I could filter by bank, or I could filter by currency. So if I did want to do only my US dollar payments in one go. I could select all those receipts for posted for US dollar customers, or I could select all. So I'm just going to set my date range back a bit so I haven't got that many payments sitting here. And I've got 20 payments waiting to be processed in this date range. I'm going to go ahead and select all. I'm expecting EFT Processing to create me a file for my 500 CHK pounds sterling bank account using that format, one for my US dollar bank account using the Nacha format, and for my South African rands bank account using that format. And I also have, for the same South African rands bank account, I have a different format here. So let me go ahead and click Generate. And EFT Processing is bundling by bank and format combination and creating the appropriate files. So it's created 4 files for me, and when I click OK, those transactions will drop off the list because I'm still filtering on not included in any file, and I've now processed them all. And when I go to my EFT file list, I will see those 4 EFT files that have now been created for the 100 CHK demo bank and for the appropriate format. So from here I can view the transactions. So if I wanted to check what were the bank account details, which customers are in here, what are the amounts, and what are the customers' details, I can. And the total of this file is 31,800. So I can view. I can also download. And when I download the file, the status will go from new to exported. And it's created me the file based on the naming rules that I set up in my EFT bank. And I could open up the file and I can see this is formatted for my Nacha direct debits. Once I upload that to the bank and the bank says the format's okay, I could come back and confirm. And once you confirm a file, you can still view the contents and download it, but you can't do any more adjustments to that file because it's been uploaded and confirmed with the bank. But if I was to look at a different format, let's say I was looking at my South African rands for my 700 CHK bank account. This has 2 payments in, so 2 direct debits for these 2 customers. And if I download this file, it's telling me that my bank account number for my 700 CHK bank is too long. So the maximum bank branch number is 6 characters in length. So from here, what I can do is hold the file, go to the EFT bank record. So this is the record where I associate the EFT file type to the bank. So for my 700 CHK 4 receipts, I'm using this particular format. And we see that the branch number is too long. It should only be 6 characters long. So back on my EFT file list, because I've now made a change, I can click refresh. And what refresh does is creates a new file with the new details in and makes the old file replaced. So I can see I've now got a new file for the standard bank format with the 2 payments. The status is new, and in the history I have the file that was replaced. So I can still go here and see what the details were, go to my new one, see what the details were. If I'm happy now with the file format, I can click download. And now it's successfully created me the file. I can open it up, see that it's formatted correctly for the Standard Bank, and I would then upload that file to the bank and then come back and confirm. And that's the EFT process for creating direct debit instructions for the bank. EFT Processing for AR also has a functionality to create receipts, which allows you to list all your AR invoices which have not yet been received, and then you can filter by currency or by amount or by customer name or by invoice number, and you can select individual invoices all in one go or one at a time, and then click Create Receipt. So this allows you to quickly create AR receipts or AR payments applied to invoices rather than having to key the customer number, the invoice number. So this allows you to quickly select outstanding invoices and create receipts. You would choose your payment method, select your bank account, enter or select the receipt date, and then click Create Receipts. You can run Create AR Receipt or Create AR Payment from here or from the Orchid menu. Create AR Payment shows you all the invoices which are open. They've had no amounts applied to them or they're not fully applied. And it allows you to select them by filtering on currency or filtering on amount or customer or invoice number range, and then allows you to select those particular invoices and click Create Receipts or Create Payments. You can choose the transaction type for your receipts. You can choose the bank that you're going to be creating the payments for. So I'll create some British pounds payments for I'll create some British pounds payments against my 500 CHK demo bank, and I want the receipt date to be the 4th of April. So I can go ahead and select all, or if I wanted to just select only a handful, I could go ahead and create the associated receipts. So it creates the receipts one-to-one with the invoice. In this case, I selected 8 invoices, so it's creating 8 payments. And I could go ahead and create the payments for my other currencies as well. So I'll do the US dollar one for my 100 CHK bank, also with this payment date. And finally, I can create my payments for my 700 CHK bank for my South African Rand payments. Thank you for your time in viewing this demonstration video. If you have any questions, or if you require further information, please go to our website, orchid.systems, and there you will also find full demonstration videos on creating EFT files for AP vendor payments and for employee reimbursements. Thanks for your time.